Okay guys, so this is pretty much part 2 of my greenhouse cleanup. I cleaned Brandon and I cleaned the greenhouse out, so this is part 2. While we were cleaning the greenhouse, I saw evidence of critters digging their way out of my greenhouse after they found a way in. So with this video, I'm going to show you all how I actually what I will call critter proof my greenhouse with using pretty much hardware cloth and just my staple gun, and then just laying more ground cover over it. So let's go. What I am doing right here is cutting strips of hardware cloth, and I'm just using my regular garden shears. Probably messing them up, but I can sharpen them up again later. I am cutting these strips of the hardware cloth to put around the bottom of my greenhouse, because as we were cleaning it, I could see that it looks like a rodent had scurried its way underneath. It clawed its way and dug a space underneath and got into the greenhouse. But I actually think what happened is because I typically leave my door closed, but I started leaving it open for a little bit, and I think a little mouse or something, or rat, mouse or whatever, got inside and probably couldn't find its way out. So it decided to dig a trench to get out, because I've got it pretty secure in there. And the only other evidence I saw was a little spot where the rodent, a little spot on my screen. It's a little hole, but I don't think that the rodent was climbing up the outside to crawl inside of the screen. I don't think that happened. So I am going to put this around the bottom half to keep anything from being able to get inside of the greenhouse. So see, and I have several pieces of this cut. So pretty much what I've done is, once I cut it, I went ahead and put a fold in it right here. And this is what I am, let me push the camera down. This is where I am placing the hardware cloth, right here, to keep the critters from digging under here, because that is what they did on this side right there. There was evidence on the inside of the greenhouse, and the reason I knew that they had dug a hole is because there was a lot of dirt, a pile of dirt and rock. Our homes are pretty much built on rock, so as you dig so far down, this is what you're going to get. So there was a whole lot of that piled up on the inside. So they took their time and dug a little hole. And I do believe it was so they could get out, not so much as to get in. I think they got trapped inside. He, she, it, whatever it was, got trapped inside and had to dig their way out. So I got the hardwood cloth there, and I am actually going to install it all the way across on this side. Now, eventually, I may go to the other side and do it as well, but I know that I will do it right here in the front. I'm definitely going to do it in the front. But eventually I may do the other side. It's about to get cold. Well, eventually here in Texas. And I want to make sure that I have my greenhouse nice and secure so that uh, no critters are looking for a nice warm place to hide. But now that I've removed those gutters that were laying inside of the greenhouse, uh, now that I've removed those, the chances of them going in there and wanting to stay zero, I guess. But let me just show you all that I have the greenhouse all cleaned out. I have everything out of here with the exception of my hydroponic system, but I have it nice and cleaned. This is the area that they managed to dig a hole to get out, and just a trench, just enough for them to get through there to get out. And I do believe, like I said, it was to get out, not so much as to come in, because that's the only spot I have. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. So, but, and so I had, at first I thought that this little hole in the screen is where it might have been coming in, but I don't think so. Now, I'm using my staple gun to secure this hardware cloth. I used the staple gun to secure the hardware cloth to the greenhouse, but then I used the, hold on, let me show you guys. I used my garden staples or ground staples or ground cover staples, whatever you call them. I used those to secure the bottom half. Right here, I'm just stapling all the way across. So, let me show you guys what this looks like. See here, secure to the ground, and then here I've got it stapled all the way across, and that should keep anything being able to dig its way under here. Because trust me, if it starts back here, way back here, it's going to hit nothing but rock. I don't think anything is digging from that point. I really do believe that something got inside and tried to find its way out of the greenhouse, because we are literally on top of a bed of rock. So I'm going to do this all the way across. I cut enough strips to do it all the way across, and I may come through and throw another piece of ground cover on top of this. Yeah, so that's the plan. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it'll be worth it. It'll give me peace of mind, especially this winter when little critters are looking for a place to go. Because see, like right here, I've got a little opening here. I'm not trying to house anything but plants. I probably folded this in the wrong spot. I'm gonna do another one to the side. And got my string in my way. Try to move this out the way. I need to fix this as well, put it back up. But as you can see, I'm just gonna line this one up. This is just making sure it's let's see. It's work, but it's gonna be worth it. I'll bring you all back when I complete it. Okay, I finally got it all done, at least on this one side. And as you can see, I have the hardwood cloth across the entire threshold of the greenhouse on at least one side. I'll eventually do the other sides as well, all the way to this end. I'm going to definitely go around this corner and do it as stop and do it as well. I'll get that done later today. But I am happy with this. Very happy. So what I'll do is I will lay some more landscape fabric on top of this, because I typically will have plants along this right here, and I don't want them laying on top of the hardwood cloth. So I'll put some more landscape fabric across here as well. Show you a view from the front. There we go. I decided to go above and beyond with rodent proofing my greenhouse. Pretty much is what I'm doing. So since I have the 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 hardwood cloth laid, I decided to go ahead and put down another layer of landscape fabric. So as you can see, I laid it all the way to the end. Well, not completely to the end, but far enough. And then what you really want to do when you're using landscape fabric is you really want to, when you're cutting it, you do not want to use shears, because you see what will happen. It will just all fray and come apart. You would need to use some type of a torch. You can buy one of the lighters or whatever, but you really want a torch, and you want to sear the landscape fabric, because that will sear the ends, that will melt the ends. So let me show you this. Like this, the ends are pretty much melted, and so it will not fray. And so as you can see, after I laid it, I used the landscape nails, and or whatever you call them, and I did a layer going all the way down the center. I also tacked the fabric down at the top. When I got to my pole over here, as you can see, oh, well, let me show you this part first. Then I decided to go ahead and tack the landscape fabric to the greenhouse here. So you've got the, I've got landscape fabric down on the ground. Then I also have the hardwood cloth that I put here to keep rodents from being able to dig their way in or out. Because earlier I said I wasn't sure if the rodent had gotten inside and tried to dig its way out. Well, later I thought about it, and I was like, that's exactly what happened. He got inside because I left my door open and tried to find a way out. So he started digging from the inside and made a passageway to get out. So I have this, I put another, the landscape fabric on top. And now I also have, I am stapling it to the greenhouse. I will eventually come out here and and get this too, because I think that may be another way for something to get in, because I don't remember puncturing my screen. So had to be some type of rodent that they threw it. So let's go back over here. Right here is where I am going to tack this fabric to my fence. But as you can see, we've got the pole here, the metal pole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my torch, and I am going to find the center of this, and I'm going to burn it, sear it down. Don't want to go all the way, but make sure you watch it because it will burn. And then that way I can just tuck this right here to the side. Well, this one right here, I'm going to have to burn it just a little bit around here. And like I said, be careful because sometimes this stuff will stay lit. And I will be able to just tuck it to the side right here and staple my fabric to the fence. Another place I'm going to have to torch as well is right here. This is where my gate slides, because I have the automatic gate. So this is the track where my gate slides. It ends here, but it slides. I can feel where it slides across. But what I plan to do first is to go ahead and tack this down. Then after I tack it, then I will be able to feel where the track is right here. And I will take my little torch and I'll just go on this line, because pretty much that's where the fence rolls on that track. I can't get up underneath there, but you can see the track right here. So that's what the fence is going to roll on. And you can see I'm just taking my staple gun and I'm just going to staple this down. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just want to tack it down. Since I won't be walking over in this area or whatever, I'm not really worried about it, any puckering or whatever like I would over on the other side where I'll be walking. I don't want to create an area where I'll be tripping. So I'm just tacking it down. Go across. I'm going to hold my foot here because right here where my track starts, move the camera, where the track starts, I want it kind of right here. I want it kind of snug so that when I burn it, it won't pucker a whole lot. So keep my foot up here, tack it down, tack it down. Let's see. This will also prevent the grass from growing up through the fence. I'm going to finish this part and then I'll bring you all back. I've got it all tacked down. See, it starts up here, tack down across the fence. And as you can see, with the track for the gate track, I used the torch and torched this area. So, and I've already tested it, so it works. So my gate slides just fine. And what I'm going to do here, because I can't use the landscape fabric because I've got this here, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tack this under, and I am going to use just like a regular staples just to staple this down to keep it from coming up. It's not going to unravel because it's all melted because I used the torch. So I'll do that, and then I'll probably come back at a later date since I can't use the landscape fabrics, and I may just get some, I'll go ahead and hammer a couple of nails down in here just to tack it down so it doesn't pull up. But other than that, I am happy with it. I am happy with the fact that this area back here is now hopefully rodent proof, where the rodents cannot dig their way into the greenhouse. Once again, I will fix this little hole in my screen. And if I have any issues with this later, and even if I don't have any issues with that later, I think what I'm going to do as well, I want to make sure ain't nothing getting up in here, because we can't live together. I'm not living with rodents. I may cut some more of the landscape fabric and tack it on here. So that way I'll still be able to get air into the greenhouse in the spring and summer, when I pull up the plastic, water coming through. But it'll keep anything from being able to gnaw its way through the screen right here. So I will do that. I'll At a later date I'll go ahead and cut some more landscape fabric and tack it up there. And I've got just this one side done. It didn't really take me long to do it. This was like a job that really just took a few hours, even though this is another day. It's just that I had some other things to do. So I am going to come back and when I redo the other side of my greenhouse with that garden bed, because I'm going to pull it up and move it over, I'm going to do the same thing on that side that I did on this side, to keep any rodents from being able to get into the greenhouse. But overall, I'm happy from where I started. Oh, shoot. See, look at me jumping. Bee. Bees are getting in here somehow. I'll figure that out. Ooh, come on out, buddy. Come on out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I probably have a hive in here somewhere, but I'll figure it out and spray it. Guess I better do it before I put anything else in here. But as you can see, I've got it all cleaned in here. I have a dip here that I need to fix, but it's all clean. I don't see anywhere that anything is being disturbed. Making sure. I think I'm going to come in this side as well and also put down some hardwood cloth just around in this area, just to make sure that nothing is still able to. I can't imagine anything coming in from underground. Like I said, we're on a bed of rocks, but just for my satisfaction, I am going to do that just in case, because these critters are smarter than we are. So that's what I will do. But in the meantime, I don't see any other areas where anything has been gnawing at fabric or digging holes or anything. But I am going to be on the safe side. I'm going to get it all. Yeah, I'm going to be on the safe side. It's late in the evening, but I thought I'd hop back on to show the final results. I went ahead and added the hardwood cloth onto the greenhouse where my screen is, to keep any critters from being able to gnaw through the screen. The screen fabric is pretty thin, and as I showed down here, I don't know if I can find it. Oh, here where there was a hole in here. I know I didn't do that. Something ate through the screen. So I have the hardwood cloth on. Everything is all done. I am now fixing my fabric here, the shade cloth, adhering it back onto the greenhouse. I'm going to have to put it on a different way. At first, I had it hot glued up here, which worked really well, but for a long time. But it started slipping off. And then I have the top of the cloth attached to this parachute rope, and then down here on hooks. So, but I'm pretty pleased with the end results. Looks nice and clean over here. Doesn't look scary. So whenever, if I decide to put plants back over here, I won't worry about rodents being able to get behind them and get into the greenhouse. So that's my end result. Even though I'm still going to come through and make this look a little better. Probably just get some nails and hammer it through to tack it down. Tuck it under. I'll tuck this under, and then I'll just get some nails and hammer it down so that it doesn't look so unfinished. But it's no big hurry because the gate actually works. I've been using it, so the gate slides with no issues at all. But that's my job on rodent proofing my greenhouse. That's just one side. And I would assume that when I do the other side, it won't take as long because this side, I was just kind of making it up as I went along. I didn't really have a plan. I just was just doing it. So, but it looks like it's going to work out really well. So when I do the other side, it shouldn't take me long at all. See, this is the other side that I have to do. And what I plan to do is to move this garden bed over some because it's really wider than than I want it to be. So I'm going to move it over some. I'm redoing things so that I actually have more access back here as well. I don't have to squeeze through, and then that'll give me room to put down my hardwood cloth here and add a little more fabric, and then add the hardwood cloth across here where the screen is. And I really am going to get all this done before it gets cold because when it gets cold, that's when rodents start looking for a place to hide.